Okay, well, can I just do it to here? That's all I care about. Are we on? Is this thing on? Let's find out. If you're here, thank you. I'm just getting started, and I've had a hell of a time with the live setup, so bear with me. I wanted to do this. It's kind of late in the day here on Monday, but I wanted to introduce or reintroduce a segment that I had done in the middle of some videos a couple weeks ago where before I would get to the main point of the video, I would talk about recent news items related to Tesla, and I would do them with the lens of economics, the way, with data and analysis that I tend to look at the world. And instead of putting those in videos like I was doing before, what I want to do now is just have a separate series where I think live is probably the best way to do this, where every Monday I'll have a good 30 minutes or so where you can ask questions, and I'll just cover basically two main topics. And those are the long and the short. And the way I look at those is these are terms from the economic world where we bet on something that's going long on it, meaning you would hold the stock for a long period of time, or you're betting against something, you're shorting it, you don't think it's going to work out. So I borrowed this segment from Marketplace Weekend with Lizzie O'Leary, and I highly recommend that show. It's a podcast. You can go listen to her and all the brilliant people she has on to talk about the real economy. But here we're kind of doing that for Tesla. And so what I want to do is talk about two things again, and I'm just going to check real quick to see who's online and if we're actually broadcasting, because that is the big question with technology and how it works. So let's take a look. I should be getting alerts, and let me see if this is the thing. There we are. YouTube is doing it. Sort of. There we go. We are live, it looks like. So, and I have a chat here. So as I'm going, if you guys are watching, if anyone's watching, I don't know, it's late in the day, you can ask a question in the chat on YouTube, and I'm going to try to get this set up in the future so it'll be for Facebook as well. So, oh, look at that. We've got people here. And yeah, choppy video. That's my internet connection. Hopefully the audio is good. Yeah, the video is choppy. Let me take a look and see what I can do. Thanks for the feedback, first off. I could actually show you. I just want to explain to you what's going on with video here. That camera right there, and hopefully it'll update eventually, is one that is supposed to be doing the live video, which is really high quality, but I'm not a camera guy, and I'm trying to figure that out. So anyways, hopefully you guys can hear me well enough, even though it looks like the video might be choppy. So let's do this. Let's try to turn on some buffering for you, so that way it'll be a little bit delayed, but hopefully it'll be smooth. Okay, so first thing to talk about, and this is my long. And this is that Tesla beat their Q1 deliveries, their production numbers. And so with this, what's going on is their stock is up 7.2% today. That's $20 up in one day. So all the people that were shorting Tesla just a couple weeks ago are getting squeezed. That's something that is happens when you short a stock like Tesla that is very volatile. So and yeah, by the way, guys, as you're going along here, if you have questions, leave them in the chat. I'd love to answer those. So Seeking Alpha is a great website for following stocks, and it's just tons of analysts and stuff. And so I follow that religiously. So today, when I saw the numbers that they beat the estimate, and then they actually surpassed Ford to be I think the second largest car maker. Now let me see. Tesla, yep, has a now larger market capitalization than Ford, narrowing the gap with GM. So Tesla's, in terms of market cap, is almost the United States largest car manufacturer. So that's crazy. So that's just big news, and I was excited, and that's really why I wanted to do this, even though it's late in the day. Stormy in Shortville. Yes, Elon's tweet earlier. That's what happens sometimes with technology, you know? So that's my long. That they hit their production numbers. Now, if you dig into the numbers, they're not that amazing, actually. They did beat their previous year, same quarter, but not by much. I think it was less than 1% or just over 1%. So it wasn't tremendous, growth that just was off the charts. But it was growth and was a new record for them, and investors loved that. So if you're an investor like I am, this was a good day. As well as just, looking out for Tesla and what they're doing and being excited about the future, especially if you're a Model 3 reservation holder. This means that, hopefully just more positive signs, so we'll be able to get our cars sooner. Okay, so now let's go to the short. And the short is something I'm against. And I have to pull this up because I don't know if you guys, I follow all this stuff, but Elon recently funded a company called Neuralink, and this is my short. And the basic of it is Elon's doing too much. Honestly, stop. Like, putting your money into something is one thing, but then to try to run and be a part of that, even on a board seat, is, in my opinion, taking more brain juice than us Tesla owners and fans want you to expend on other things. I get SpaceX, and I love SpaceX too, but now with Neuralink, it's a company that's aiming to establish a direct link between the mind and the computer. And this is, I don't know if you can probably read that, or later on I can figure out how to share my screen, but look up Neuralink if you haven't seen this. It's Neura link, Neuralink. And there's something called Neuralace technology. In fact, I think that's what the Stormy in Shortville comment was about. But it's insane. And so it's something that was founded here in July in California. And yeah, I guess, one day we'll be able to control things with our mind, which I do agree would be fascinating and interesting, but it also could be where the Matrix becomes a reality. I don't know. It seems ridiculous to me. And the only reason I'm short on it, not that I'm short on the company or what they're doing or any of that, but I'm short on the idea of Elon spreading himself too thin, especially when this year is so important for the Model 3. This is really kind of it for Tesla, I feel, where with the Model 3 being the big bet this year with all the money on the line and everything else, just focus on that, man. SpaceX is doing crazy stuff already. So I don't know. I'm short on that, but I do hope that they're successful in the long run. And I hope it doesn't detract at all from Tesla's mission and what they're doing. So those are my long and short. And again, this is going to be a segment I do every Monday. Because it's news related, I think live is going to be the way to do it. So hopefully I can figure out better audio and stuff like that for you guys, or maybe the audio is fine, but maybe better video and all that. Like I said, I was trying to use my DSLR, which is what I use to film the regular, videos every week. But it's just technology. It's one of those things I can't even show you. I have cables and wires and crap everywhere. So, but anyways, look for that coming back every Monday, probably right around lunchtime on the West Coast, or maybe a little bit earlier for folks that are on the East Coast here. So let me take a look at some questions and see what I have here. Messerser, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, says, "Where's my solar roof? Need a new roof now." Towards the end of the year, they said, is when they'll start taking reservations. My best guess is maybe spring of next year is when they might be doing deliveries, just because things take a long time. Now, on an earnings call recently, they did indicate that the solar roof, which I believe is being built in Buffalo on their Gigafactory 2, I don't know if it really qualifies. I don't think it's going to be as big, but maybe I'm wrong on that. But anyways, the solar roof should be easy for them to produce compared to the Model 3. So all signs, there's really no doubts anywhere that will happen. It's just a matter of when that comes up online and all that. My best guess is that by maybe March or April of next year is when you could actually have it installed. I actually just got solar on my house, and I'm going to be doing a whole series on that. And I did order a Tesla Powerwall 2.0, and it's April, and I still haven't got it. So I ordered it in January. And so I'm a little worried about that, even though this should be the easiest thing in the world to produce, right? Put some batteries in a box and wire it up with the bus, and you're good. So hopefully that happens. And when that happens, I will share that with you guys for sure. All right, let's see. Jonathan Gerke or Girk, sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Do you think the Model Y will get more attention / details as the final Model 3 reveal? So the Model Y, if you guys are unfamiliar, is, I don't know how confirmed it is, but I think we all kind of knew this. It's the cheaper SUV, right? So the plan was to start with the Roadster, this like super sexy, awesome car that happened to be an electric vehicle. And it just opened up people's eyes that EVs could do that. Then they went with the best sedan in the market, which was the Model S, like making the best possible one. And they did that. Then the Model X, which is the high-end SUV. I would argue that they probably, there are a lot of people that have SUVs out there that see certain things like the Falcon Wing doors and some other quirks about it, as maybe they didn't hit the mark exactly like they did with the Model S. But then they make the Model 3, which is the cheap version of the Model S, and then the Model Y will be the cheap version of the X. Do I think there will be a new reveal or more details about it? Right now, I hope not. This year, I think it's all about the Model 3. I think they need to stay focused, get that going, get that out the door. I mean, in order for them to really hit their numbers, they need to be, I read that they need to be producing 5,000 Model 3s at the end of the year per week, which is crazy. So I don't know. We might see some more stuff maybe later in the year, but I believe, I have to imagine that all their kind of effort and attention right now, with Tesla anyways, is on the Model 3. Okay, so Fun Sickled asked, Ben, do you have a Solar City solar roof / Tesla wall combination at home? I do not. I recently, just a couple weeks ago, finally got my solar panels installed, and I'll do a breakdown on exactly what I got, and I'll show you images and explain all that. And as I just mentioned, I'm still waiting on the Powerwall video, or the Powerwall to come. Yes, I will be doing absolutely a video on that. I actually considered, I don't know if there's this guy, Jehu Garcia, or Jehu, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. He's just I'm in San Diego, he's up in LA, and he made his own. And he has some really awesome videos if you're into that stuff. I took a look at it and I thought it's a bit above my pay grade. And I just figured, hey, Tesla's doing some awesome stuff, and it's not that expensive. By the way, I'll give you guys a sneak peek here. This isn't, I'll have to preface this. This is California only, as far as I know. There's something called the SGIP, SGIP. It's a state program that gives you rebates on advanced technologies for self-generation of power. Hard to explain, buzzwordy, but what it is, it's basically, so let's say you wanted to buy a Tesla Powerwall 2. They're about $7,000 all in. Mine might have been a little bit more, I forget, but you get $5,600 off of that. So we're paying, $1,400 for a Tesla Powerwall 2. That makes a whole lot of sense. If you're a homeowner, $1,400, you can blow that on lots of littler things than getting a Tesla Powerwall 2. So, but my plan, and I'm doing a whole series on this called the Sustainable Homestead, is going to be to have solar, a Tesla Powerwall, just one for now. And I already have my Model S. Then I'm going to get, I have a reservation for a Model 3, and we'll get rid of my wife's old SUV. So in the end, I'll have the solar generating stuff, the battery for taking us close to off the grid, and then 2 EVs. And then over time, what I plan to do is just add more and more power walls. So eventually I could hopefully disconnect from the grid. It is a questionable thing. But here in San Diego, they even charge you just $10 a month for being connected, whether or not you use power at all. So it's kind of a weird situation. But that's my whole plan for kind of like a family sustainability thing, where I'm trying to make our home as sustainable as possible. So we've got a couple big parts. We've got the Model S and we got the solar. Now we're just waiting on the Powerwall, and then the Model 3. Of course. Okay, so let's see if we have any more questions. We have Vaughn Murphy. how high do you believe the share price will get? Well, okay, so I am not a stock analyst. I am a data analyst, and I love this stuff. But there are people that are pretty high on this. And I read, I forget where. If you go to seekingalpha.com, or if you get the app and you look up for the Tesla stock, somebody wrote in there that they expected it to be about $320. It's right around 300 right now. So I'm not going to give that advice and say that, speculate on what that is. I mean, this is such a volatile thing. But I will say, go check out Seeking Alpha, and you can read kind of the analysts' estimates there. Or maybe that was on Teslarati. I forget. Somebody put out $320 as the new price estimate, and that's kind of where these things get driven from a lot. So, yeah. Okay. Jim Kelly asks, Ben, how will you configure your Model 3? On the web? I don't know. Okay. Some simple thing. Okay, so I live in a place where it's generally around 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. What is that, like 22 degrees Celsius generally? And it's very mild here. It rains, not too much, although it's been raining a lot this past year. So I don't need all-wheel drive. I'm in favor of rear-wheel drive because it's cheaper and it gives me a frunk. I'll definitely upgrade the battery to, I think they said what the max is 75. I forget what the latest tweet is, but I'll probably upgrade the battery to 75, hopefully, if not a little bit more. And then I don't know. I kind of want to see it. They did say that they were going to be shipping the test drive models or whatever to the stores, I think in Q3, which is July, which is when production begins. So hopefully I can go look at some of these features and see beyond that. But really, I'm not I just want good range, so 75 or more, and really that's it. I mean, I'll upgrade things like the sound system or whatever, but I'm not going to do. I probably won't do an all-glass roof if that's an upgrade, and ludicrous mode and all that stuff. I mean, I don't know. The autopilot and self-driving, full self-driving stuff, definitely want to get that. So, I'm estimating my price to be around 55 to 60. And if you haven't seen my video on that, which I just recorded another one earlier today, which will be coming out Thursday, model3tracker.info is where you can enter your info and price things out. It gives you an estimate. It does all kinds of cool stuff. And then I'm working with the guys that run that website. We actually partner on it. So I get the data from there, and I do some of these videos where I analyze this stuff. So I did a video a couple weeks ago on this, so you can go check out more Model 3 data if you want to see what are the most popular features upgraded in every part of the world. And then the one I did today was about what the budgets are. So when you go there, you can estimate your budget, and it also will, based on the options you select, what the estimate should be. Now, there's some assumptions there. We don't know the actual pricing, but based on Model S pricing, we can make some assumptions, right? So, I mean, it's just kind of fun at this point, kind of speculative, but this is data and stuff, so it's fun to play with. So go to model3tracker.info, absolutely, if you're interested in that. Just pricing your own stuff or seeing. It has a bunch of cool data visualizations built in as well, so you can go kind of explore that and do all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. And also, when you enter it, you'll be, giving us more data to look at here on the channel, so. Yo Buddy asks, M3 color in mind. I love white. My Model S is white. Just something about a white car with a black interior. I don't know. I just really love that style. So I'm gonna go with white. Michael L asks, what do you think the average selling price of the Model 3 will be? Well, again, yeah, that we have data on this. And now the data is somewhat speculative, of course, but I would guess we're in the 50s, average selling price. And that's because most people, I believe, and we have data, again, people saying what they will do. This isn't, again, once the prices come out and all that, they may change their mind. But a lot of people are going to upgrade the battery. I mean, almost everybody. I think it was something like 90% of people will upgrade something. And so that 35,000 is going to push you into the 40 to 50s very easily. My guess is you'd be right around 55 for average overall. But various parts of the world, it's going to kind of fluctuate rapidly. So. Marcus Hayes asks, do you think that a Model 3 will be good for a 6'6" guy like myself? I don't know, man. That's a good question. You know, during the launch, if you watch the launch video, they talked about the reason they had to make the iPad, that the display kind of stick out, was that so they could still have a good amount of leg room and headroom. And so I've not been in one. I do know some people that have, and they mentioned it was very spacious. In fact, the guys at evnx.com have a book. It wasn't Matt. In fact, hold on. I have the book. Here you go. It was Roger. And this is, let me see if you guys are seeing this. This is a book about that. So Marcus, you can go check this out. It's called Getting Ready for Model 3. I read it. I mean, as someone that already owns a Tesla, there was a lot of stuff in here that was kind of redundant, right? Because it was kind of, this is like getting ready for it, like if you don't have one or had never owned an EV. But he does talk, I think he has a section in here. Let me see. What we know. Display, battery, performance, range, charging. Yeah, it doesn't, he does talk about it in here. So go to evnx.com if you're interested in this, because that would probably help you. But, you know, bottom line, it's not, I can't imagine it to be as spacious as the Model S or the Model X. So 6'6", you know, depending on what your budget is, I may be looking at one of the other ones. If you are interested, we do have a referral code, of course, that you can use to get $1,000 off a new one. Or you can go for the certified pre-owned, which is what I did. And honestly, I think it's a great value. I mean, you can get a Model S, like an 85, a P85 or something like that, for around $55,000, $60,000, depending on what part of the world you're in. I live in Southern California, so we have like a bounty of them. But they'll even ship it to you for a grand or something like that. So check that out. And good luck, man. I would love to hear what you do. Matt Obeda, will you replace your S or keep it as a second car? I will keep it as a second car. In fact, it will be my wife's car because she has an SUV now, a small SUV, and we're planning on having this go to her, and then I will drive the 3 because it actually, our Model S has more storage than our Acura RDX. The RDX has a bigger hatchback, so we can fit taller items. But overall, I mean, we can fit a lot more in the Tesla, so she'll take that. Jonathan Gerkegan, are the service costs for taking your Model S into the service center? Have you paid anything yet for service? I just did a video on this called what is the yearly cost of a Tesla, where I looked at like my entire annual cost, including loan payment, interest, everything. And the answer is I've paid zero. I've paid $0 for maintenance during my first year, and I've had 2 things happen. The windshield wiper broke, and the battery had to be replaced. The 12-volt battery that charges or powers the electronics. So those things were all covered under the warranty, which everybody gets, even a pre-owned gets, for 4 years after you buy the car. I've had, nothing, and I haven't taken it in, though. They come to my house, which is pretty incredible. Maintenance so far is incredibly low, even though I have had a few things. In fact, they're coming back again. My brakes were kind of squeaking, and I wasn't sure what was going on with it, because usually the brakes on the cars, because you have regenerative braking, which slow you down, you don't use the brakes nearly as much. So they're coming out back again on Monday to check that out and see what's going on there. All right, Mr. Paul Carter, why do you want a standard white on your Model 3? It may be unavailable. Would you do the pearl white multi-coat instead? Yeah. I just love the white colored cars. I just love how they shine and they always look clean and all that. So we'll see, I guess, what the options are. But yeah, I would totally go for something like that, which I know is an upgrade, which would add some cost. But that's a good question. Like there's some really cool things that people do with cars, especially with something like that where it's pretty universal. So I might actually, if it were a lot of money, I may go to some body shops. I mean, I live close to Los Angeles where there's like a ton of people doing this kind of stuff. So may check that out. I have some friends up there that have done it. Okay, let's see. Hey, John. Thanks so much, man. John B. Thanks for the insight on Tesla and Solar City. Absolutely. Thank you for your support. We're also on Patreon, which is a new thing, by the way. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of that, where if you guys want to help support the channel, it does. So the way I do this is I do all the research, and then I do a lot of the data visualizations you'll see. Sometimes I'll find data that someone else did, and it's just so damn good that I'm not going to try to redo it. I'll highlight their stuff. But I spend a lot of time making that all myself. Then I have an editor that I send it to, and I have a script and images and all kinds of stuff. Like if you guys saw my commercial today, which is my entry for the Project Love Day, the fan commercial, then you can see like the amount of work that goes into it. So, all of those things have to be licensed. It costs money for audio and all that. So John B., thank you so much for your support here. And, you and anyone else that wants to continue to support this channel, we're on Patreon. You can find the link on our thing, or just go to teslanomics.co/Patreon and you'll find out more. Now, why would you do that is a great question, because, hey, you already get all the content here on YouTube, right? Well, the way Patreon, the thing I like about it and why I really decided to do it, well, first off, I have a video there explaining it, but it's not just, to ask for money, because I thought that was lame. In fact, that's why I didn't jump on Patreon when everyone else seemed to. For me, the thing is that I can offer more behind the scenes looks. I can also do more direct connections with you guys. So like when you comment on a video, so all my videos that go on YouTube also go on Patreon. And when you go comment on that, I'm going to be much more responsive, because you're paying for basically access directly. And I appreciate it so much that, that is where I'm actually going to be spending my time. Now, I still will respond to comments and stuff on YouTube, but it'll be probably a bit delayed. Also, I try to post the videos like 30 minutes or so before, just to give people a little bit of a pre-access, kind of an exclusive. Because of the way the algorithm works on YouTube, I can't post the videos like hours before, because it would mess everything up. So Patreon, there's a lot more behind the scenes stuff, and you can even get things like your name in the credits, which I haven't done yet, but if and when people do that, I will do that. So John B., again, thank you so much for the support, man, and everyone else, there's been a couple of people already on Patreon, so I greatly appreciate all of you. The fact that I'm even able to do this and support my family with this and some of my other online stuff is just tremendous. So I'm forever grateful for all that stuff. Let's see. Howard from New Zealand. Hi, Howard. Yeah, Tesla has just established a presence here. Small sales so far, but big future, as 80% of New Zealand power is renewable. Sweet. That's awesome. In fact, I did a video. I don't recall. Did I call it New Zealand? I think I did. I think I did, actually. I did a video on EV sales. There's a website called Green something or other. I forget, I'd have to go back and look, but they put out an annual report about EV sales throughout the world, and I do recall New Zealand being called out as doing some cool stuff with their renewables. So sweet. I'm excited to hear that. Okay, I've got time for a few more, and then I have to go take care of bath time for my toddler. Marcus again. I know it's off subject. Where'd it go? But how do I donate to your page again? Oh, well, I will always be happy to answer that question, Marcus. Yeah, it's patreon.com/Teslanomics or teslanomics.co/Patreon. Even on the homepage of our channel, there's a link up there, and you can just go check that out. And you can kind of see I have different levels and different things, that I offer to folks like yourself or anyone else that wants to support it. So again, thanks in advance for everything there. And there's Paul having some issues with the website. By the way, we almost crashed Model 3 Tracker last time we did a video. So we're gonna, I've got another one coming out this Thursday. So we'll see if we can't push the servers to the limits there, and see if we can't. I think since the last time. Wow, Marcus, thank you so much, man. That means I can't even express that. Thank you so much. You just donated $10 to the channel here, so really, really appreciate it. And I hope to hear from you again soon here on all these channels and stuff. Because that's the idea, is to build out this community. So people like you are what give me the inspiration to keep doing it. So awesome. And yeah, so last time we almost crashed Model 3 tracker.info. And since then, it's only been a couple weeks. I think we went up almost 1,000 entries. So there was like 1,600 or 6,900 entries, and I pulled an extract today, or Paul helped me, and before I did my video today, and we're up to 7,900. So keep it coming. I would love to spread this around. I mean, you just go enter your info. It helps me with the stuff like this on how to actually make these videos, as well as it helps it helps just kind of grow the community and, give us better kind of optics. I was joking with those guys, like, hey, maybe we could like sell this information to Tesla, or like not even sell it, just like, hey, this is what everybody wants. We have 50,000 people that all say they want this one feature. Maybe you should make that a priority. I don't know if they'd listen to that, but we're kind of doing the focus group research for them in advance. All right, last question from Tesla de Murbox, and you're on Twitter. I see you all the time, man. How is it going? What efforts does Tesla Motors make by associating domestic energy generators with the company? So let me try to unpack that question a little bit here. I think what you're trying to get at is, by associating domestic energy generators. So I think what you're talking about is solar, potentially wind, or maybe some people I've heard of thermal things where you have stuff in the ground. I think Tesla is making a product ecosystem all about sustainable energy and transportation. So I don't think that that there's much beyond that. But I wouldn't be surprised if down the road that we have more and more ways and things that Tesla starts to release, right? Like I saw something about Tesla cities where they're planning whole cities and stuff like that. So we'll see, I guess, how that goes. So there's that. So we'll see. Yeah, Marcus, awesome, man. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you're here, and I will see you back soon, I'm sure. Okay, let's see. Will you join another YouTuber to explore comparisons with them? Yes, and I saw your comment for the Now You Know guys, and yeah, I would totally love to talk to them. So, anyways, I can do that sometime, and I'm actually looking to do other collaborations with other folks as well. So stay tuned for that. I've reached out to a few folks, and now